Boom! We're off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, Zach, allergic to nuts, Elias?
Yeah, always have been.
I didn't pick up on that.
I mean, when have we ever gone out for like pistachio ice cream? No invite.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Finally back to the regular day. We post it later on Saturdays. We appreciate all the support from everybody. Make sure you are rating, reviewing, subscribing. We got a fun episode planned for today. This is episode 95. That's ridiculous, said Nicholas, which makes absolute no sense right now. But when we get into later on, we have a special guest for today, an author. That's the name of their book. It'll all come together. Before we get into anything, let's crack open some birds, Zach. What are you working with?
Hold on, which one did she not knock over? I forgot already. Here we go. I've got my Yinglings again, but one of them is bubbly and one of them is not because my pain-in-the-ass cat, who Alan hates, just knocked over one of my beers. But I hope this isn't the one. So if it goes psh, we'll know without that.
You know most people listen to this, not watch it. So the whole showing the cat.
I just showed a cat for the visually impaired.
Not visually impaired, the people that listen on audio.
For the audio people, I just showed a cat. She's still a cat. What are you drinking there, non-cat? What kind of shirt is that? Baltimore.
My shirt is a 1993 All-Star game.
Wrong.
That is I wore that for our guest today, who's born and raised. Also, going back,
we went at a softball tournament. I think we were both at. That's only got food poisoning.
That was when I got food poisoning at.
Yeah, it was gross.
Going to the
terrible day.
Duclaw Brewing Company from Baltimore, Maryland. I am drinking something called Mad Bishop. And do you know what should have popped the kegs today, but because of COVID didn't?
What?
Oktoberfest, my friend.
Okay.
Oktoberfest was supposed to start. You know. It was supposed to start today, but This is a Maryland beer, and they do their own little Oktoberfest.
Why do they call Oktoberfest in September? The chickpea is neither chick nor pea. Discuss.
Release the Kraken.
Yeah. I miss Linda Richmond.
L'chaim.
The whole idea was great.
How you been, buddy? Anything good in your life?
No. Well, no. We lost the softball last week. I had to go to the Jet game to watch that debacle. Missed the 4 picks. And I got to watch your Ravens light it up the other night.
It was great.
It was awful.
It was fantastic.
And yeah, just New York sports right now is really rough. I'm watching the Mets, which I don't know I still watch. The Jets and Giants, disaster. Yankees are also going to miss the playoffs, which makes me happy, but just not a good time to be a New York sports fan. We're just in the tank. And the Jets, how do they always get that one wrong? The league is littered with its all-star quarterbacks that they passed on, including your boy, Lamar Jackson.
So the best part about this is most people listening really couldn't care less about sports. But if you know Zach's personality of just being a self-hating person and the New York Jets constantly, every year, being horrendous, always doing the wrong thing, I tell you, it's like peanut butter and jelly, you two.
Yeah, it's lamb and tuna fish. And you can never you can't leave them because the year you do leave them, they're going to go 14-2. No, they're not. They'll never go 14-2.
They won't go 14-2 because there's 17 games now.
That is true. They'll go 15-2. Even better. The whole thing is a mess, but you got to stick with them because if they hope springs eternal, you had to be their win. And I'm paying for the privilege. What is the Ravens game you're coming with?
My weekend?
Yeah.
I will definitely be doing the at your game. Zach, this past weekend, I had a chance to go celebrate the Simcha with my cousin's kid. I always can't do the math on that. Right. Is it first cousin once removed or second cousin? I can never get that right. At a bar mitzvah.
Carry the 7. Did you go up in the chair?
No, but oh my God, they put everybody in the family in the chair. And there was me and 2 other people, and we're looking around, and everybody acted like, oh, no speaking English.
Yeah, that's me. I go to the bar. I get a drink in my hand, so I'm wounded. I got a beverage here.
They had one bar, and the bartender
on a couch and have the whole family go up,
like The Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly.
The bartender kept disappearing, and we would just raid the bar because this guy moved so slow. It was like, oh my! When you did get to the front, you just started taking orders to try to help the guy out.
Like in cocktail, when you throw in bottles.
You know, I'm a licensed bartender.
I did not know that.
True story. I watched Cocktail sophomore year in college, and I said, I think it's like, Legally Blonde, where she goes, I think I'll go to law school. I did that with bartending school, but kind of not the same thing.
That's even better than law school. It's a more useful skill.
So
How often does someone say, is there a lawyer in the house and actually need one? A bartender in the house, that comes in handy all the time.
The only thing I got out of that was the Cuba Libre joke.
Make me a Manhattan.
It's just it's vermouth and whiskey, right?
But you got to do it, and a little sherry, but you got to do it nice.
An old fashioned is so much better than Manhattan.
No.
So this past weekend,
snooty Manhattanite like me.
The whole affair only had, I don't know, 100 people or so, and I knew who I knew from my family, and there were so many people there I didn't know, but I go to these affairs like, you know what, I'll meet people, I'll say something, and there wasn't a whole lot doing, and they did a little...
I'm a great icebreaker to Shiva call. I know how to get in there and mingle.
I'm sure you kill all your jokes.
Hi-yo! Yeah, kill the Shiva. Zing.
So there's a young kid there who was walking around. They did a picnic kiddish hours before, and I just looked at him and I was like, hey, buddy, what's going on? And he was like, hey, how are you? I said, how do you know Jake? He goes, I'm his cousin. I said, oh, really? Me too. He's like, oh, okay, cool. And I forget where the conversation went. Who cares? So we're staying at the hotel, and we went back to where we checked in. We did what we had to do. And then I was like, all right, let's go grab some food or something just to kill some time. And we get into the elevator, and this kid, his name is Jesse, who I think is 12, 11. He's in the elevator. He's just kind of standing there, and he's like, oh, I think we got to go up before we go down. And I think we're on the 4th or 5th floor. I don't know why he's even in there. Okay, great. And so I was like, hey, so how's it going? He goes, great. I'm here for my cousin's bar mitzvah. I said, no kidding. Me too. He goes, you are? And they're like, how do you not remember me? And we start bickering back and forth. And he's so little, so I go to kind of grab the kid, like to give him noogies. And
Noogie's still a thing, huh? Good.
I slip right off of him. He is soaking wet in sweat. And I went, oh my God, what's wrong with you? He goes, it's hot in this elevator. I said, how long have you been in here? He goes, I'm working the buttons for people.
Did you tip him?
So I was like, what? I you know what? His parents left him at the thing. We go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
I'm working the buttons? That's amazing.
Zach,
way to frame it. We
come back to the hotel, I don't know, an hour and a half later, kid's still in the elevator. He goes, I got $8 so far.
Nice.
We were in tears laughing at how funny this was.
Almost no value. Like, kids get money nowadays. I gave my daughter money for when she lost a tooth. It has no value. There's nothing marketable. A, she doesn't need to buy anything. And B, who the hell uses cash? And by the time she needs cash, she's going to be all digital. Giving her dollar bills is just giving her a toy. It's meaningless. Coins also have less value.
We talked about this before we got on, as we typically banter, because your daughter came on to say hi, who, I've never met her in person, but we have quite the rapport, her and I.
She's about the same in person. A little smaller.
Zach, why don't you share with our listening audience, your daughter lost her first tooth. How much did she make out with?
Tons.
Not from multiple people. You gave her...
I gave her nothing. The tooth fairy gave her $20 for the first tooth because she was a late tooth loser. So, it got to be those things like everyone's lost one. So we had to, but then it's like, how much do you give her so that it's not tacky and gauche, but you're not cheaping her out?
$5 would have been plenty.
Apparently it would have been, because I gave her, the tooth fairy gave her $20 because I did a little, polling the audience and market research, and that seemed to be the number everybody landed on. She looks at it and it's folded up. She goes, oh, wow, awesome, $2. And I said, yeah, unroll it. She goes, oh, 20. She was actually more excited for 2. The whole thing was a total loss.
Ron Katz wants to know
how much. $20, Ron Katz. Martini with a kiss. What does that mean? You Bill Raftery with a kiss.
All right. Zach, we have a special guest today, which I don't really love doing a threesome with you, although that was the topic of most of our texting today. I
will happily be a throuple with you.
I would like to bring on from backstage the woman who is my aunt, has known me forever, but we're just going to call her Cheryl Taragin. Welcome, Cher.
I'm a waspy Jew. I say aunt.
You are.
Aunt or aunt, either way.
I'm a waspy Jew.
And I want you to know I have my beverage.
Also. All right, so what are you drinking, Cher?
Is she drinking out of a boot cup? Look at that thing.
It's one of those bicycle cups, and I am drinking tea.
Very nice. Yeah. Something relaxing. Yeah. Sounds great.
That'll get you wrecked.
Well,
You gonna Irish up that tea at all, or what are you doing here?
We kept it Jewish.
We tried.
So what's Jewishing up? Put a little Shevitz in there? Shot of Shevitz?
It's regular tea.
Regular tea. All right,
Just
well,
I could be on my game here.
Speaking of tea, it's time to spill some tea because Cheryl has gone ahead and dove into the child author writing book business, whatever. And she was so kind to send Zach and I a copy. So we both
unsigned, by the way.
Zach wanted to sign one. I'm like, she's emailing it. Just shut up. He's such a pain in the ass.
I could do it nice.
So, Zach, you want to go with the first question? Because I got a lot of questions about this. I guess the first one is, what made you want to do this? And where are we going with this? So talk about the book.
What a dick. You just asked if I wanted to get the first question, and you just dove in with the question. I had no question, but dick in general. Go on with your book.
So that's the cover. And I guess I always wanted to be an author. And I love children. So I have a lot of story ideas in my head. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to start off with children's books? But I can't draw. And so
I like the illustrations. Who did those?
It was me and the publisher. We worked together. I gave them the ideas for the illustrations. Then they came back with the storyboard. Then I would give them more information about how I wanted it to look. Sometimes it would go back and forth a lot, which makes the process a lot longer, unfortunately. But in the end, I got exactly what I wanted, and I was very pleased with the way the illustrations came out.
That's good. That's important. And not a little known fact on you. I am also a published author. When I was in high school, I published. But what doesn't not about me. I'm good with you. I had no say in the illustrations.
Oh.
We just us two idiots, us two little pishers, wrote our little coffee table book, and Time Warner, who published it, did all the illustrations. They're god awful. The color cover, god awful. But who the hell were we? We were 17. They raked us over the coals. But that said, I'm glad that you got what you wanted. My book tanked immediately. So I wish you better success.
I hope so too. I mean, it's a very cute little story about a boy named Nicholas, and he likes.
Where'd the name come from? Because
I also have questions. He's got a lot of names.
One of the middle names is a female name, which is
that's explained. It's explained in the book, Zach.
I know, but like I'm assuming this is not a real kid. So where did that story portion come from?
It's a little interesting.
You ask me for questions. You roll your eyes. What a go on. You got me in you.
You know how you like these embarrassing stories. So I'm going to tell you an embarrassing story about how the name came about.
Please tell me that's Alan's real middle name.
Alan Annabelle? No chance.
Amazing.
So the name Nicholas kind of stuck in my head because I'm single and I became obsessed with this man named Nicholas.
Obsessed is the word they use in court, right?
Obsessed. I'm telling you. I was really obsessed with this man. And I was walking the track one day and thinking about how this was it was not working out. It did not come together. And I said, that's so ridiculous. Like, what happened? It was ridiculous. And then suddenly I started rhyming the two names together. Nicholas and ridiculous, they rhyme. And I thought, wouldn't that be a great idea for a story? There's a little boy who always goes around saying things are ridiculous. Let's make his name a little bit ridiculous. And
wait, was that what your gentleman caller would like? Was he ridiculous? Like, was it? I guess that's my question. Is that where the name of this book came from? Would you be like, oh, that's ridiculous, or is that something?
He wasn't a caller. That was the thing. Like, I would run into him in places and things like that. And
he couldn't close?
Well,
I don't know if he was trying to bet.
I thought maybe he might be interested, but it turned out that he wasn't. It just, the whole situation was ridiculous. It really was. I mean, and this went on for at least 6 weeks, which was way too long. And I guess, that's how the idea came to me. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if he had a female's name in there? And I was trying to think what would be the best female name. And I'm a very big fan of Edgar Allan Poe.
Woo! Ravens!
And that's how Annabelle came into being. So
it'd be great if it's just Nicholas Nevermore.
Not Lenore.
Kind of, yeah. A little bit. But Annabelle Lee, that poem, it always kind of stuck with me. And I thought,
good poem.
Wouldn't it be great to just take that name Annabelle and put it in there? And,
I like the Casca Amontillado.
Payback.
Exactly.
Now, his last name was Tidings. Do you know that's a famous person, right? I know Zach does not know.
Who? Which?
So
Titan?
at the University of Maryland, it was the
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
This guy.
it's from University
Wait,
of
real
Maryland.
quick, Aunt Cheryl, what university did you go to? Just real quick for the audience.
University of Maryland.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
So do you remember Millard Tidings? There was a whole.
That's where I got the name
Millard.
from.
There's a name that never came back.
Yes, tidings, because it's like tidings of glad joy, you know.
That's pretty goyish. Jews don't say tidings.
I just hope I'm the only person that picked up on that, because I saw tidings. I was like, it took me back to CCJS 105.
What about Testudo the
Sounds like a
turtle in the
bathroom
middle
code.
of the mall, and
Zach doesn't know anything about that.
Hall and all that? Yeah. So yeah.
So I noticed on the very first part of it, when the kid was born, was that a home birth?
Yes, I'm gonna
Because he's at home and it's like, oh, it was raining something furious. I'm like,
yes,
You can't get an Uber. You got to do this sometimes.
exactly. Yeah,
Ooh, surge pricing. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this thing in the bathtub.
She decided that she was gonna, stay at home instead of going to the hospital. Yeah.
See, now the other thing that came up in the first couple of pages, when the father was bragging about the kid and the mother was bragging, it was very cute the way the father gave credit. Oh, he has your this and he has your this. Now, this is a question, I guess, more for Zach, and maybe if you want to comment.
It definitely has my eyes.
The kid, or no, it was the father said, oh, he has your, I think, nose, and he goes, and he has my curly hair. Now, as somebody with curly hair, or I could just say hair alone, is that something you want to be proud of?
When the kid has one of your features?
Curly hair? I do not want to pass my hairline on to my kids.
Well, everyone in my family has curly hair. If you see my mom, she does have the Krusty the Clown look. You met my mom. You were her doctor.
HIPAA.
Something like that. Yeah, HIPAA. Good luck.
So, Zach,
I don't know if she actually paid you, so there's not HIPAA. I think she just dined and dashed you. But that said, it's nice when the kid has your features and you can see the features evolve into ones that are more like you. Like Zoe looked like Jenna's father for the first 6 months. It was a little bit, and then she's evolved into my, Sephardic good looks, that kind of thing. But the curly hair is better now than it was, like, more typical now than back in the day. And my mom in 1950s Rhode Island, it was a bunch of tall blonde wasps and one, 4'0" Jewess with big hair.
Absolutely. The curly hair was not in when I was growing up either. And truthfully, I straighten my own hair, which tends to be curly. So go and figure it out. But
my mom did the Japanese straightening thing once. It was like a 40-year-old version. Cancel all my afternoon appointments. It's taken her like hours to do that. We're a team of 8. Need help.
Yeah.
So speeding along towards the end of the book, when Nicholas had to do all the chores in his room, one of the things that was mentioned was he hasn't made his bed in days. I'll just say, making bed overrated. Discuss.
Making bed overrated. Made bed phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
So if someone makes for you like a hotel bed where you could like barely wriggle in and it's like a vice on top of you.
Tuck or untuck, Zach?
Oh, big time tuck.
Oh, Julia's a tucker, and we've gotten into fist fights.
Tucking can be very difficult because of circulation issues. Yes.
Yeah.
But
we're still talking about beds and sheets, right? Because tucking can be hard with circulation, but if done correctly, I'm going to hell. No two ways about it.
It's all about the sheets, Zach.
Yeah, so I don't like to make my own bed. I'm not good at it. As many of the housework that I'm not good at, at least I play not good at, which is just can't amount to the same thing. But a nicely made bed is fantastic. You get in and it's all there for you.
Joke about that, actually. I knew someone one time who was fastidious, and her husband used to make fastidious, just like everything in the house had to be just so. And her husband used to make this joke and say, if I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I would come back and the bed would be made.
Wow.
That would be fantastic.
So before we logged on,
sometimes and she doesn't make the bed.
So Cheryl, I was told to call you Cheryl. Before we logged on, you made a whole little rant about, I don't know with the sports and I don't know about this. So if you guys
sports,
but
sports
something that came up in the book was the fact that Nicholas had his sports jersey draped over his chair. Zach, did you pick up what jersey that kind of is? Because I know she has no idea what she did.
Was it got to be Cal Ripken?
It was a long sleeve red number 7 jersey. Do you have any idea? Nah, Hal wore 9. Different sport. Literally one of the biggest followings in all of Instagram in the world right now.
Oh, Stan Usual's huge on Instagram.
Manchester United's own Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's a Musial jersey.
That was just something that I saw that stood out to me with Ronaldo. I was like, is that a Ronaldo jersey? When I was looking at the pictures. I'm assuming you had no idea what you did, right?
It wasn't me. No, they had a jersey, and if it were up to me, I would have made it Ravens purple.
Yeah, you would.
So you wouldn't have gone Jets 7?
No.
Ken O'Brien?
She would have went Ravens 52, and immediately the book goes from rated G to rated PG-13 for murder.
PG-13? Like PG County. Hi-yo! That's about all I know of Baltimore. I know PG County, I know the Orange Couch from The Wire, and I know Allen, and that's pretty much all I need to know about Baltimore.
We love our Ravens here. We're beyond in love with them. So, yeah, if it were up to me.
Playboy over there couldn't care less. He wants an Orioles appearance in the playoffs. He would trade it all for Tony Tarasco to have made that play.
Poor Orioles. I feel bad for them. But we were not abandoning them. And the reason why is because we still remember what it was like to lose the Colts.
I was only 4 months old, but I understand what it's about.
You're the curse.
I am. So last question about the book. I'm assuming, or I'm just going to guess, are there going to be sequels? And if there are, is it going to be Nicholas doing other stuff with different messages? Or are you going to change the name to go to hell, said Michelle?
Some other person she almost dated? Maybe Michelle? I don't know.
I would love to do a sequel on this.
Randy didn't call me back?
Well, it has to rhyme in some way, but I was thinking...
Does that make you Randy? Said Randy?
Randy wasn't Bandy.
I was thinking that's even more ridiculous, said Nicholas.
So you will go down the more
You're going to just lean into it.
Like, I still remember what you did last summer. That's what you're going to...
Keep going into the well. It worked.
Maybe put him in a different situation.
So it's always going to be Nicholas, is what you're kind of saying, after this massive success because of this podcast?
Why not? I mean... You make enough of these things, they make a movie, and you're on Easy Street.
Ooh, it gets picked up as something for...
Can we get EP credits? It means nothing, but it's like a fake payout. EP credits, the both of us.
You never know. I mean, I have all
Sometimes
the
you do.
rights, so.
No, I liked the book.
Thank you.
I've read a lot of kids' books because I have one. Alan just reads them because he's a creep. These things happen. He's not allowed near a playground. That's why. I liked it. I thought it was cute. It worked.
Thank you so much. This book was a labor of love. It took a long time actually to come up with the idea. Even once you got the rhyme, it was like, well, who would this kid be? And why would he go around saying it's ridiculous? And then I said to myself, parents do, and grown-ups do tell children things that aren't true to get them to do things. And
that was one right there. Oh yeah, we make up all kinds of nonsense.
Right.
The whole thing is bullshit.
And also there's wives' tales that people tell people.
My wife tells so many tales, forget about it. Pain in the ass.
And so there's so much out there. I thought, yeah, there's definitely fodder for a second book. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, we've reached that part of the episode where we're going to move on to trivia time, where, you know what, we were going to write them down, but why don't we just do rapid fire back and forth? So I will start off with Zach.
I thought you were going to take her off stage and then rip her book behind her back like a real man.
No, never. So, all right. So we're doing today's topic is people named Nicholas. So pretty much everything has to do with somebody named Nicholas.
Tsar Nicholas the First.
Nicholas, that golf guy.
I wanted to do it's Nicholas.
That golf guy.
It's Nicholas. I know. Zach.
Elizabeth.
Zach being a golf guy makes that so much better. I actually was debating on putting that in there, but I was like, I'll lean away from it.
I would have had a heart attack.
We are going to start off question number 1. Zach gets the first opportunity. Otherwise known as Mr. Priyanka Chopra, this Nicholas is an American boy band singer.
Fan, you big loser.
Trying to break the chains, but the trains only bring me.
I don't know what any of that means, but it's Nick Jonas. What I can't say on air, but you know I want to. A word that I don't say anymore.
All right. Very good. So, Zach, I'll give Zach the point.
Circle gets the square.
Question the second, moving over to the author. This Nicholas is most famous for his 1996 iconic romance novel, later adapted into a movie in 2004. Hey, Zach,
Sparks.
If you're a bird, I'm a bird.
Nicholas Sparks.
That is correct. Did you know that?
I don't
No?
know what any of these things mean. And the same comment I made for the last one. Double down.
All right, let's keep it over there with the author for question number
This is for
3.
people who aren't watching and just looking at the people who are listening don't have a clue what I just did. It's better that way.
It's funny though. It's good
see?
stuff. I like it.
Nicholas Swisher of How I Met Your Mother fame also had a decent Major League Baseball career that includes a World Series win. Name any of the 5 teams that he played on. Any of them, and I'll tell. Wait. It's the author's chance, and I'll just give you a hint. It's not the Orioles. That is not one. So name any of the 5 teams he played on.
Not yet, at least.
He played on the
Name
Yankees.
one. The Yankees is correct. All right. Zach, would you like a team?
He was on Oakland.
Go ahead. Keep going. You got to name the rest.
Name the rest. Nick Swisher. Nick Swisher was on. Is he on Philly? It feels like he was on. No. Oakland, the Yankees are the 2 big ones.
Yeah, and then he signed a big deal after the Yankees. He went to Cleveland, and then nobody remembers he played with the White Sox and the Braves. So that's 2. All right, let's keep it right here, Zach, for a bonus point. What day of the year is his birthday?
Nick Swisher's birthday?
Correct. What day of the year?
What day of the year? Like, you mean Tuesday? Or
no,
what date?
What date of the year? And if I'm asking this, you have to know
your birthday, but I don't know when the fuck your birthday is. So we're gonna go with April 19th.
That is incorrect. Cheryl Taragin. Nick Swisher's birthday, what day?
November 25th.
That is correct. He will be turning 41 this year.
Who knows their nephew's birthday?
My first nephew.
You can just tell you the name before, so you can send him a check for $8.
All righty. This question is going to be for Zach. Number 4. Nicholas.
Wait, is that the biggest celebrity shares your birthday?
Christina Applegate.
So Nick Swisher. I love her, actually. I got Eminem and Evel Knievel.
Nicholas Coppola, better known as Cage, has had 4 divorces, but only 3 major Best Actor wins for his role in 1996 blockbuster.
1996 Best Actor?
Yeah, this isn't the question. I just thought you would know it.
Oh, Leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Nominated. But his best work was the waiter in Fast Times at Ridgemont High when that's what the question's going, because I love that movie. Go on.
Academy Award, the BAFTA, Golden Globe, and SAG. He won 3 of the 4. Which one did he not win?
What? The BAFTA, the Golden Globe, the SAG, and the Oscar?
Yeah. Which one did he not win? He won 3.
What is a BAFTA?
That's the British one.
Did the Brits love Nick Cage? He was good in The Rock. I'm going to go with the Golden Globe.
Golden Globe is incorrect. For the steal, Cheryl?
I'm going to go with BAFTA.
BAFTA is correct.
Get the fuck out of here. The Brits loved him.
See, I just thought you would go down the road of the SAG Award is where the Screen Actors Guild votes for it, and I would have thought they would be the people to go, he sucks. We're not voting for him. But the truth is the Brits hate him.
Do they really hate him, like in general? No. That's a thing? Brits hate Nick Cage?
I mean, he doesn't translate well.
Let's go to question number 5.
Whoa. Con Air doesn't play in Manchester? Bullshit.
For whatever reason. I mean, you've seen their TV shows and stuff. You know they have different senses of humor than we do, so.
But he's not all humor. Sometimes he's all action. Sometimes
his teeth are too nice for them, okay?
I think sometimes they miss the nuances.
He is nuanced.
Yes, very.
I mean, there's major nuance in Ghost Rider.
Did you also know that he was the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola?
I did, because
so the question started with Nicholas Coppola, better known as.
I knew that in general, but Alan did open with that, and he is Nick Coppola in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is in the top.
And that's a great movie. I love it.
So she likes it. Alan doesn't find it delightful at
all. Oh no, it's a great movie.
Fantastic.
Question number 5. This is for you're both going to get guesses, but let's start with Cher. Nicholas Cannon, most famous for his drumline and anti-Semite takes on Judaism, is quite
in our house, by the way.
Quite the coxman. Plus or minus.
He stole my word.
Plus or minus 1. How many kids does he have? Let me rephrase that. How many known kids does he have?
And he's like 31, by the way.
Plus or minus 1.
Nick Cannon has.
He's hilarious.
two children.
Start doubling it.
Ask if it's 2.
I would exactly.
It's got to be 7+.
Really?
I gotta think. There's no plus or minus 2 if it's. I'm gonna go with 6.
It's plus or minus 1.
Yeah, I'm going 6 on this one.
Correct answer is 7. No,
I said 7 first. He's big because a Masked Singer is appointment viewing in my house with my daughter. She can't get enough of it.
All right. Well, I didn't keep score, but that was fun. As we start to wrap this up, please tell people where they can get a copy of That's Ridiculous, Said Nicholas.
It's very easy to order. You could either go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble and just type in my name, Cheryl Taragin, as a search, and the book will come up. You could also find it at Reader's House, and it's available in the ebook format on Apple iTunes and Google Play.
What's the price on this bed, Larry?
$75.
Varies. I mean, the paperback version.
Wait, I can get this in hardcover?
You can get it in hardcover too. Yeah.
That's what she said.
So if I just send you like $23, that feels like it gets hardcover done. Cash in an envelope. Just money in an envelope. No note, no nothing.
Oh, you would for sure get it with my signature too.
All right. And if you use promo code BYD, it gets you nothing special. But I suggest that people definitely look, if you have a kid, they're going to read books. You got to read a lot of Fakakta books. You might as well start with this one, right?
Some of them are real bad. So
this is a great book. I mean, it's so cute, and kids have really liked it so far. And I just think that people should give it a chance. Try the Apple iTunes if you don't want to spend a lot of money, and then go for the hard copy.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for being on this show. Happy Sukkot to you.
Wish a happy Sukkot. Are you in the sukkah right now? Are you in the house right now, the sukkah?
I wish.
Are you shaking I'll shake a lulav at you. That's just, I can't go down that road.
Just shake that lulav. I can't.
The whole thing is one big dick joke.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
you can't make a dick joke at your aunt.
Thank you for being a guest on this show. It was great having you. Everybody, listen, of all the Nicholases, I just want to let people know that the book actually is kind of entertaining. But before we sign off, UFC 266 this weekend. There's one Nick you need to know. It's Nick Diaz. You're welcome.
Oh, by the way, for Piece of the Week, not that you asked, but anyone who still calls in 2021 to a radio show to rant about your team. Now, it is entertaining fodder.
First time, long time is the best line ever.
No, they're all the same guy. Long time. The same asshole has been calling since 88 because that's who's still calling in. And when I drive back in the Jet game, we listen to post game. And
you listen to post game and you don't just turn on Red Zone for like the afternoon games?
On the radio while we're driving back from the game. While we're all checking our fantasy on my phone and hoping my uncle doesn't do the same crashing the car. But we listen to the post game and people call in. They're all morons. And then the morons who are hired by the Jets to talk about it, just roast them.
Yeah.
And then
that's where they get their content from.
And then we roast them in the backseat. Who was this idiot calling in? Or he's making some good points.
Yeah, no, that's where they get their content. They need that. They want that.
Who's still actually dialing in?
If I knew I had a chance to get through and had a hot take.
Absolute chance because there's like no one else in front of you.
Boo's Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays we do it live. Saturdays we post it later. Everybody, thanks for listening. We had fun. Hope you enjoyed this. Daddy loves you.
My book. Bye.